What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Flicking on My Bic, here where I bring you the beauty, juice, and spiritual truths. I am your spirit guide host, Miss DC. And today, y'all, listen, 717. I don't know who need to hear the message, but I said I was going to do a little mini podcast today. I'm not going to be here too long, okay? A couple numbers I want to throw out. 717 303 303 or 787. Now, I don't know, or 434. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this message, but we're going to talk today. Now, 717 is a very familiar number for me. It's a confirmation number for me. So whenever I see it, it's confirming something that I'm thinking about. And it's also my best friend's number. Now, the thing about my best friend is she was one of the first people that kind of helped jumpstart my spiritual awakening. And so, as y'all know, or if you don't know, I'm very much spiritual. Okay. I don't hold on to the idealisms of other people, but I can definitely learn from them in some way, form, or fashion. Now, it was crazy because I'm into investments, I'm into the stock market, I'm also into buying stocks as well. And so I was looking at what stocks Donald Trump has. Now, of course, as we know, Donald Trump is and generally tends to be trending a lot, especially on Twitter. Okay, he's in the midst of a political war. Okay, and he speaks his mind. If I give him any credit for anything, he speaks his mind. But he is a Gemini, so we have to throw that in there. And now, one thing I want to say about Gemini, and something else that I noticed about Donald Trump, is that he's a very great communicator. Now, you might not like what he says, and that's fine. There's a lot of things a lot of people don't like about what he says and what he does, as well as other people that other people just don't like. And you know what I'm saying? It works both ways. But anyway, so Geminis are from the planet Mercury, if I'm not mistaken, but it's the planet of communication. And whether you like how they communicate or not, they're very good communicators, aka why Donald Trump is known for making tweets. Okay. He's always tweeting. Now, listen, it's very difficult, okay, very difficult to keep up a Twitter account, let alone one with millions of followers, with current events taking place all the time. Now, when you think Gemini, think of children. And this is another message that I want to get out. A lot of times we be trying to act like, you know what I'm saying, our kids come out the womb 30 and educated, and they're just not. They're just not. And they're curious by nature, just like an adult is still curious, just about more uh, to depth things. I feel like to a certain extent, because kids can get deep sometimes as well, or at least make you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was looking up some stocks or whatever, and it was so crazy because as I'm looking it up, like I low key have the movie Romeo Must Die on. And so I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm finding out all of this information about Donald Trump and stocks and how it relates to the Gemini effect. And so then as I put the movie, like I didn't pause the movie. I had just looked up at this particular part where in there, I forgot what his name is. The dude that be like, you know what I'm saying? The dude in Romeo Must Die. I forget what his name is, but the musician dude or whatever. But anyway, dang, what is his name? Shit, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, I forgot. Dog. Not Snoop Dogg, but what's his name? It's not Snoop Dogg, it's the dude that be doing the dude that do that. Shit, I forgot. Well, anyway, so I just so happened to look up. And so there's a part in Romeo Must Die where Trish, which is Aaliyah, and Jet Li or whatever, they're in the office talking to. Listen, I gotta listen. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up because this is gonna irritate me too much. Cast of Romeo Must Die. DMX. I'm sincerely tripping. DMX or whatever. So there's a part in there where DMX is talking to Aaliyah and Jet Li or whatever, and he says, and he tells her, "Your pops is running around here like Donald Trump, buying up all of the." What did he say? Buying up all of the buying up, pretty much like buying up all of the waterfront, like buying up all of the land. And so I thought it was crazy. And I was just like, oh my God, what are the chances that I'm sitting here thinking about doing a podcast on Donald Trump and how it involves investment, and a movie that I've seen multiple times? I didn't even notice that specific part of that movie. And it just so happens that he said, your pop's running around here like Donald Trump trying to buy up waterland. So it just, all of these things in a sense have a tie to each other. 717 confirms, and I'm sitting here looking up Donald Trump's investments and what particular companies and corporations he invests his money in. How weird is that? You know what I'm saying? How weird is that? How weird is that? And I feel like a lot of time, I must say, everybody don't like Donald Trump. I don't really care for him either. And I don't care what none of y'all say. He's a Gemini. So he's an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. We are the thinkers of the zodiac, which means we are the people that walk this planet that are literally the thinkers. We're the ones that think and put into effect. We're the ones that kind of innovate. We're in our heads. And they're like I said, they're like children. When you think of Gemini, curious children, they always want to know something. It's like, and information is always changing. So they always want to know something. They always want to know how something works. They always want to know how things may be able to go wrong. They always want to analyze. They always want to figure out. They always want to intake communication or information, much like the Virgo. Okay, the Virgo is the teacher of the zodiac. And in order to be a teacher, you have to be able to know how to take in and utilize information appropriately. Okay, so when you think about it, and it's crazy because I'm Virgo moon and I love information. On top of that, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm naturally intuitive and I'm naturally intellectual. And something that I try to tell people, being unintelligent is not smart. It's just not. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kind of wanted to touch on a couple of things. I thought it was funny, like I said, that I was going to do a talk about Donald Trump, but I must say he's using the government to his motherfucking advantage. His people wrote these laws, and he's literally using these laws that his people kind of came up with. You know what I'm saying? And so he's using it against his own people, and his own people don't even like it. And what do I mean by that? People want to know how wealthy Donald Trump is. Now let's get into this, okay? Now, the thing that most people don't understand is they always wonder, well, how is it that he has money? He don't have no money because he's always going bankrupt. That's something that I constantly hear people say, oh, he bankrupts all the time, so he don't have no money. Listen, you all think so surface level. It's hard for you to understand, so I'm going to try to explain it to you the best way that I know how. Now, you have several different types of money. You have paper, cash, okay? And you also have assets. You have equities. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll just deal primarily right now with cash and equities, or like land and anything of value. An asset could be a car, an asset could be a business, it could be anything tangible, anything, you know, that holds, or anything that kind of holds value. And so the thing is, let's say you have a person, and we're going to call this person. Now, person has $1 million in paper cash. So you can go to the bank and just cash out on $1 million. Now person also has 3 different buildings that they own. They got building A, building B, and building C. Now, all 3 of these buildings each are worth $1 million. No, they're each worth $2 million. We'll say 2 million. So person has $1 million in cash, and then hold on, let me start over because I switched up the numbers. Okay, person has 1 million in cash. Then person also has 3 buildings. Each one of these buildings is $2 million a piece, right? So 2 million, 4 million, 6 million. Now you have $6 million in assets. Okay, so all together you have $7 million. So at this point, I think that's gross, or maybe that's net worth. I gotta remember which one that actually is. But anyway, so you all together, you have 7 million in value. Now, let's say you get sued, and let's say person gets sued and they owe 1.5 million, right? They own 1.5 million. Now, you don't have 1.5 million in cash to just pay over. So the bank says, well, you know what? You have buildings that are worth a little bit more than what you have in cash. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that, or a part of that building, and we're going to wipe the slate clean. Your debt is paid because we now done took your building, or at least a major part of your building. And so at this point, you still have $1 million in cash, and you still have $4 million in assets. So if the bank did take even one of my buildings that's still worth 2 million, I still have $4 million in assets and still another 1 million in cash. So I still have $5 million. And so the reason that he can go bankrupt, and he only has gone bankrupt, like, I think it was 6 times. It was like between 4 to 6 times, I think. I think it was 6, but don't quote on it. Anywhere between 3 and 6 times. But I know it's more than 3, and I think less than 6. But he's gone bankrupt a couple of times. Okay. And so you wonder why he still has the money, because he has multiple sources of income. He has short term, which is the cash, and then he has long term, which is the property, which is the land. And so, excuse me, y'all. Oh my gosh. Just in case somebody had heard that, I don't want y'all thinking that I'm just nasty and don't use proper etiquette, because I do. So excuse me. But look, the thing is, and this message is more or less for my Black people that don't know. Invest in the stock market. Invest in the stock market. Invest in the stock market. Just like you get up and you learn how to do the job that you're working at every day, just like you learn how to take care of yourself when it's necessary, and y'all still don't be taking care of yourselves. Whenever you have to learn something, okay, you doing it all day, every day anyway. So why not learn something that's literally not as hard to understand as what most people believe it to be? I'm literally taking stock market classes. I'm literally watching YouTube videos, CNN reports, Trump reports. Okay, I'm learning the laws. I'm learning business. I'm investing. I'm changing. And like, when you get into, below surface or above surface level, above or below surface level, either way you go, whether it's super, super deep or super, super high, you're going to gain a bunch of knowledge. Okay. And so one thing we don't do, especially as Black people, is invest in the stock market because we think, oh, it's only wealthy people that do it. It's really not a whole lot of people that invest in the stock market, regardless of what type of person you are. It really is like a small group of people. You know, we have to understand that the world is a really big place. Like it might be a really small place, but it's also a very big place as well, depending on how you look at it. And so a lot of people, like I say, even people that are in the stock market, they aren't the ones that's actually doing it themselves. Generally, those are the people who are getting paid to do it for somebody else. You know what I mean? So you really don't have a whole lot of people, I feel like, in the business of investing. But the thing is, once you invest, in my opinion, you'll never go broke. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're putting your stocks and all of your information into different baskets. You know what I'm saying? And I believe there's a term for that. I believe it's a term for that. Y'all. Is it diversification? I forgot what I was talking about. But anyway, so look, the point I'm trying to make is that we don't invest enough, and we need to. We really, really need to, because again, it's not really that hard to understand. And then, you know, one thing I will say is that if you look kind of at Trump's businesses, the thing is, when you create a business, you can go about it two ways. You can be a privately owned business, which means, you know, you didn't get money from outside sources. It was your money that you put into your business. So it's a private business. Whereas a publicly owned business is a business where people on the outside of whoever created the business owns parts or certain aspects of the business. So it's just like, you know, if you come up with an idea and you put all your money into the business, it's considered a private business because you didn't get funding from outside sources. You created the revenue yourself with your business. Your business made the money. You know what I'm saying? Your business made the money. So you can be considered a private business. And so because of you being a private business, some of the perks of that is that you don't have to disclose information involving the worth of your business. So that means if I'm a private business, okay, if I'm a private business, then I do not have to publicly display how much my company is worth, how much my company is making, the revenue, the net worth of my company, the gross, all of that information. Legally, I don't have to show that because I am a privately owned business. Now, when you're a publicly owned business, meaning that you have people that have put money into your business for the sake of watching it grow, because they place their money into your business, they have a right to know where their money is going. So by law, you have to show people, if it's a publicly owned business, if you're getting money from outside sources, you have to show. And that's kind of one of the issues that Donald Trump is facing right now, which is why I said I think Donald Trump is kind of smart. He's using the system that his people created against them. He's using the system that his people created against his own people. Okay? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, but it's crazy too, because Trump's attorney, Michael Cohen, or his former attorney, pretty much came out and was saying that, you know, Donald Trump was adding value to assets. He was what do they call it? Inflating his assets for the sake of getting better loans. Because, you know, when you go to the bank and you get a loan, you know, they pretty much base off how much they give you off of like credit report, you know, how much money you have, how many assets you have. and you'll get a better loan from the bank if they can see that you have money. Or like, let's say that you want a loan to start an even bigger business. And so you go to the bank, you say, well, I don't have the 2 million, but if you loan me the 2 million, I'll make that 2 million 4 million, and then I can pay you the 2 million and then some change back. And so the bank says, okay, well, let me look at your background. I see that, okay, you make this much, you have this much in assets, okay, I'm going to give you the loan. Now, the thing is, the bank doesn't really know for sure if the information on there is true. Why? Because legally, he does not have to display that information. So the thing is, I can in turn inflate my assets and say that my assets are more than what they actually are, so that I can get a better loan to get some more money and triple what I have. And Donald Trump does that. And so it's actually kind of brilliant in a sense, because the thing is, it's also against the law, because you can't, that's the whole purpose of getting a loan, is they want to know what you have. And if you really don't have these funds, the thing is, we can't for sure know what kind of funds you have, because legally you're a privately owned business. And so we can't really do that. But if you're utilizing the law, that if you're utilizing the law for benefit, for material benefit, or for material gain, that is a crime. And some companies do get charged with fraud, and you know what I'm saying, what do you call it, fraud and embezzlement. You know what I'm saying? When you just finding ways to smuggle money. And so when you think about it, it's crazy, because it's like, by law, he doesn't have to show his tax returns and all of that information, because it's a privately owned business. But on the other end, if you're lying about your assets, saying that your assets are more than what they actually are, then that is a crime. And so it's kind of like, well, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what can you do? Because by law, he don't have to show you. And then on the other end, you know what I'm saying? On the other end, it's like, if he is committing a crime, we have to be able to go after him, because you have committed a crime. But at this point, it's kind of a push-pull, because it's like, well, technically, he's really not doing anything that's against the law. But at the same time, he could very well be inflating the prices to get better loan terms. You know what I'm saying? So, and my thing is, it's actually so simple. Like, it's so simple. And then a lot of his stuff too, from what I've researched, is unaudited, and it's like self-reported. Okay. And then when you think of, and this is why it is so important to buy land. It is so important to have ownership. Okay. I am 29 years old. I am going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 32. Okay. I don't care. Trump owns, okay, he has, like, I know the top 5 businesses that he have, and I got my notes right here just so that I made sure I didn't miss nothing. Okay. I know for sure 5 different categories, okay, of ownership that he has. He has, ownerships in hotels, ownership in golf courses, ownership in condos, ownership in residential and commercial real estate rentals. And he also licensed his name. So with his name being licensed, he gets paid for endorsements. If Nike is doing a commercial and put Trump in there, and they use the Trump name on or in a commercial, he gets paid for that. So whenever somebody uses his name, he gets paid for it. He gets paid for it. Like, and when you think about it, He is to an extent smart. You know why? Because majority of the people that walk this planet do not do that. I don't care how dumb it is. This man is literally going against, he's using his own system for he's using his own system against him for his own benefit. And you know what? I can't deny that it's not smart. It is. And he even said that, and I don't quote this isn't verbatim, but matter of fact, let me see if I could pull up the article. He was saying pretty much how he likes the fact that he's using the law to his advantage. You know what I'm saying? If you go to investigate, what was that place? Investopedia. Okay, a lot of that information that I got was from Investopedia. Okay, so you can go on Investopedia and get the same information I'm about to reference. Okay, so it was crazy because he has said, I remember during the debate between him and Biden, he had gone and said something along the lines of, don't use the word smart with me. Don't use the word smart with me. And it was pretty much saying how, you know, he was at the bottom of his class, which is one of the reasons, you know, he had to drop his presidency from the beginning, because he was always lying about just the basic stuff, you know. So anyway, it's just kind of one of those things, but he puts his money into things like hotels. So 5 of his largest businesses, okay, the National Doral, which is a golf course. It's like a golf course it's a golf course it's a golf course, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a golf course in Scotland. Actually, he got 2 golf courses in Scotland, the Mar-a-Lago Club, and it got an LLC on it. Okay. And also the National Doral, which are 2 like golf courses that he owns, and they're in like Scotland. And then he has he got Trump Ruffin Tower. Now, the Trump Ruffin Tower that got LLC on the end of it too manages the Trump International Hotel and Tower in Las Vegas. Okay, he has the Turnberry, which is one of the 2 resorts the president owns in Scotland. He has the Trump Old Post Office, which pretty much it was an old post office, and he utilized that space and converted it into a hotel that makes millions. Okay, and so the National Doral and the Mar-a-Lago Club, okay, are 2 golf courses that he owns literally in Scotland. And so he does business not only in the United States but across seas as well. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's very important, like I said, to utilize people that actually do this. And he's teaching his kids, you know, he's teaching his kids too. And the thing is, they have access to the same information that we do. And a lot of time, if you think about it, if somebody is worth $3 million, that's really not a lot of money. It's really not a lot of money. $3 million is really not a lot of money. And so the thing is, and let's say $3 million, if you have $1 million in cash and you have 2 million in property, the thing is, you have long-term investment and then you have short-term. A house or a business that intakes money is more or less a long-term benefit, and then it grows over time. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that this is why Trump can afford to do this bankruptcy thing, because he has money in multiple places. And so when you invest in the stock market, it's pretty much the same thing. You have money in multiple places, and over the course of time, your money grows. And you want your money to grow. Everybody is into quick money. And the thing is, okay, let's say something happens and you get sued, and you get sued for exactly 1 million. And it's not going to be easy for you to sell that house. You know what I'm saying? So you may be in a position to where you have to give your cash, and now you have no currency, no bill currency, no paper currency. So now all your currency is gone. All your money is gone. And the thing is, if you got a painting that's worth $5,000, paintings are kind of hard to sell. So even though it is an asset, it doesn't have any equity. I think it's called equity, which means something that you could liquidate quickly, something you can turn into cash quickly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if you sell your iPhone, you'll get some quick cash. Maybe if you sell them food stamps, you'll get some quick cash. You know what I'm saying? Something like that of value, but a house or a corporation is very difficult to sell overnight. You know what I'm saying? But if you need the money literally at that moment, it's going to be very, very difficult. You know what I'm saying? For you to be able to give the bank the money that they need if you don't have it. So that's where that short-term investment and that long-term investment come in, because you could have $200 in cash, but you could have $1 million in. You could have $200 in cash and then $2 million in a business. You know what I'm saying? You could have $1 million in cash and 14 billion in assets. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start looking, I guess, to an extent, we have to start looking at what exactly, we got to start looking at what exactly it means to have all of this money. And when you think about it, when you start getting into the billions, yes, you're worth that's a lot of money. But when somebody is worth $1 million, we have millionaires running around here all over the place. You can be a millionaire overnight, and then the next moment you just not. You know, it just depends on the situation. But the point I'm trying to make is that at the end of the day, the objective is long-term investments. This man has, you know, he is really, really, really smart. Like, he really is. And people be trying to say, oh, he's this, he's that. No, because if you were in his situation, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. If I could literally, if I was up against the government, how good would that look to be up against the government and actually outsmart the government? Like, are you serious? Why y'all see that's them people that got fear in their heart. Like, ain't no room for that. Ain't no room for that. Y'all got fear in y'all heart for no reason. Like, if you had the opportunity to play the fucking government, why wouldn't you take an opportunity like that? You got me fucked up out here. I would love to experience that. Go against the government and then outsmart the government. The people who try to frown upon you, the same people that don't have your best interest at heart, you know, and blatantly right in front of your face, whether you want to accept it or not. Hell yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking that because I got a heart in my chest. You know what I'm saying? And I'm spiritual. Negative things gonna happen in your life, whether you a good person or not. So at the end of the day, I'm going out with a motherfucking bang. Because I got a better chance at succeeding than sitting there and taking a beating. Okay, it's just like they say with the lottery. If you don't play, you guaranteed to not win. And you know what? That's not necessarily true neither in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you might not physically play, but you could find a number. There's always a solution to a problem. Always. And so that's why people be trying to say, you know, if you don't play, you're guaranteed to not win. That's not always necessarily true because, like I said, you can. So the point I'm trying to make is that every problem has a solution. And so I think the problem that most Black people have is that we don't invest in the stock market and we don't invest and things that we don't know because of the fear. And we also don't take the time, some of us don't take the time to get the necessary information because it's a long process. Because you got to look through different references. You got to check facts, fact check. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure the information is right, backed off of other information. And so it's a push-pull effect. And people get tired of that because it's too much. But it's not too much because you learning everything anyway. If you sat and learned everything about a shoe, you can learn. So you can spend your life learning about a shoe. You really could. You know what I'm saying? You could spend your whole life learning all these different things about shoes. But at the end of the day, why would you want to do that when you can learn about shoes, when you can learn about cars, when you can learn about business, when you can learn about spirituality? Why limit yourself to just one thing? You know what I'm saying? Or just one understanding or one way of life. And that's why I feel like people be too shallow minded and too surface level to go deep and get more information. Okay? We could learn a lot from Donald Trump, even if we don't like him. And so I just wanted to come on here and say that, you know what I'm saying? We need, as a Black people, okay, as a melanated beings, as conscious people, as unconscious people, we have to find a way to put ourselves in, we have to find a way to put ourselves in a better economic place. And a lot of time people want the investment, but they're too afraid of the process because the process may require you to not have a job because you need time, and getting that 9-to-5 job is taken away from the time you need in order to create a plan to build you long-term wealth. You know what I'm saying? And again, having that life as well as a 9-to-5 life, especially if your job is demanding, you know what I'm saying? Even if your job isn't demanding, even if it's like a little McDonald's job, people be trying to downplay McDonald's. Some of them people in McDonald's be tired. Some of them people in McDonald's be overworked. You know, don't think just because it's McDonald's and it's a fast food chain that the people that's working it don't get tired neither. Just because them people be tired, ready to go and spend most of their energy fighting people all day. Oh, you ate half of the sandwich and now you're going to try to bring it back talking about it was pickles on it? You done left a whole 4 hours ago. Now you come back with fries from Burger King in a McDonald's bag talking about I done gave you cold fries. Okay? Like you done drank all of the juice. Okay? Still got ice in the bottom talking about your drink was watered down. Okay, people be coming in there all of the time. Like I paid for this double quarter pounder with all of the cheese. Okay. And y'all took more than 7 minutes to give me my sandwich. So I need another one. Like people do stuff like that. They really do. They really do stuff like that. And so people like me get irritated. I'm kind of aggravated. Stupid people make me itch. They really do, because it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Why would you waste your time as well as somebody else's on something so stupid? That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible thinking. Okay. And it's just irresponsible on all levels. So we have to learn to be smarter than what we're working with. We have to learn to be smarter than our environment, and we have to be smarter than ourselves. Because if we can outsmart ourselves, then we smart as hell. Okay? So y'all invest. If you don't, you better invest in the stock market. Take a little stock market class. Go on YouTube. Better yourself long term. Get your kids together. Okay? What else did I write on here? Okay? And like I said, I thought it was real crazy. And then I seen this J. Cole, little trend thing. J. Cole with the singing voice, J. Lo. I'm about to post that, so don't nobody take it. J. Cole, that was from me to you. Okay, J. Cole with the singing voice, J. Lo. Get it? Okay, joke of the day. Yes. But yes, y'all. Make sure y'all invest Invest in anything that you possibly can that will be beneficial for you, whether long term and or short term. Okay? Invest, invest, invest. And if you don't like Donald Trump, so what? A lot of people like him, a lot of people don't like him. Learn something from not just the positives, but learn something from the negatives too. Because I tell you what, negative people are smart as hell. A lot of people can't do this, and a lot of people would be scared to do this because they have a fear of going to jail. You see Donald Trump doing whatever the fuck he's doing, and he ain't in jail. And you think he worried about it? Hell nah. Hell nah. He ain't worried about it. He ain't worried about it. And you can tell by how he communicates and how he oftenly and frequently communicates. Y'all can tell this man don't care because he knows the law. Okay? Because he knows the law. You know why? Because when you want to do some crazy crooked shit, you have to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. And you got to know what you can't do. You got to know what's improper, what's inappropriate. You have to know both sides of the spectrum, not just one way of thinking. And so when you smart about the shit you can do, you can stand up like Donald Trump. And I'm not condoning some of what Donald Trump is doing, because if he's using the government for negative purposes, then yeah, that's wrong for anybody. That's wrong for anybody. If you breaking the law, that's wrong on all levels. So let's not sit here and act like, oh, I'm just taking up for Donald Trump. No, but I am about being fair. I am about being just, okay? I am about, if you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right. You got it. But some of y'all out here don't want to accept responsibility, and that's the problem. You be feeling guilty because you know you done did some shit, but you don't want to take responsibility, and that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. And so at the end of the day, I tell you what, y'all better start learning about zodiac signs, understand people. That's the best way I feel like you're going to learn about people. The best way I feel like you're going to learn about people. You know why? Because zodiac signs show character, characteristics, personality traits, ways of being. You know what I'm saying? It tells you a lot about a person's character, how they act, how they may move in certain situations based off of the amount of people in that category that do it. It's the study of something. It's not no different than anything else you got to study. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different form of studying that a lot of people don't know about. It's like y'all be knowing stuff, but y'all know y'all don't know, so y'all use that as an excuse for not wanting to know. Replay that back if you must, but y'all better start learning. I don't know why y'all don't be wanting it. I be sitting here reading some of these Donald Trump articles, and between them and him and his financial problems, his political problems, and then that opens up a branch to all of these other people that's in the public eye and outside of the public eye, how they use celebrities, how they use the American people, as they call it. Okay. Like, I think it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's mind stimulating because it really makes you think, like, the extents that people will go to. So in closing out, y'all, I'm going to give you 717, okay, which is a confirmation. So maybe you wanted to invest. Maybe you wanted to do something, okay? I feel like maybe you wanted to do something and you need a confirmation. This is your confirmation. Do it. 303, any creative endeavor, any project that you're working on currently is going to be well worth your while. 787, you've been making the right decisions. You've been making the right choices. 434, you have a spiritual connection or a spiritual job to do, and I suggest you do it. And you know what? As a bonus for this just regular, what I would consider a regular podcast, because I wasn't going, I was just going to sit and have like a regular podcast. But because the last season that I did was a podcast on the tarot readings, and the first season was just me podcasting, and then the second season was interviews that I was doing with, you know, artists, entrepreneurs, and things like that. And so this was just going to be like my first season, just me doing a podcast. But I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go ahead and do a mini reading because of this podcast we're doing today. I just want to do a mini reading for whoever this might resonate with. This is a general reading, so this download may not apply to your current situation, but you can still take something from it. Please utilize this information to the most positive purpose. And I am using my Light Seers Tarot deck by Chris Ann. Okay, and so we just going to get a quick little message because I feel like somebody needs a little bit more of a confirmation. Okay, somebody needs a little bit more of a confirmation. So let's see to whoever this might be. Let's see. Okay, somebody might be getting some bad news. Somebody might be getting some bad news. Something that you may have is a situation you may have to forgive, a situation you've probably lost faith on, a situation that isn't good for you, maybe an investment or an idea. It's negative. Whatever situation you're trying to detach from, or I feel like there's a situation that you know you need to disconnect and you're probably thinking about it. And yeah, 7 of Swords, you're making a plan. So we got the Page of Swords in reverse, the 5 of Cups, the Star in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the 7 of Swords. So I feel like something, you know, something is a bad idea and you need to forgive it because it's not helpful to you. And right now, you're probably making a plan to get out of it. You're probably making a plan to get out of it. Let's clarify this Page of Swords. Okay, let's clarify. Just a quick little message for somebody because I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Page of Swords in reverse, 5 of Cups in reverse, the Star in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, clarifying this Page of Swords. It is a relationship, 2 of Cups. Okay, whatever relationship or situation that you getting into, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. You probably done felt it. I know this is for somebody specific. You probably thought it was a really good idea. You thought in your blood it was a good idea, but don't do it because it's not a good idea. Don't do it. Confirmation not to do it. 5 of Cups, whatever it was to do with a skill or a job. A skill or a job didn't work. And it's like you did a job for somebody and they didn't like it. And so they might have did something negative and you had to forgive them. Or maybe you did a job and they didn't want to pay it. But whatever the skill is, it's like you're not trying to work on it and maybe you're trying to forgive yourself or somebody's going to forgive you. But it's like moving forward from a project. So I feel like whoever you were in a relationship with, you might have done some work for them and then it ended up being a relationship. And then when it became a relationship, maybe the job did not get done. I feel like the job didn't get done or you just didn't like the job. And so now the Star in reverse, it's like you're not strong enough to possibly tell this person. I feel like you're not strong enough to tell the person because with this Devil in reverse, it's like you're trying to detach from them. So what is this Devil in reverse? See, Moon, you want whatever you want it to come to light that you don't want to deal with this person, I feel like. And the 7 of Swords, see, 3 of Swords, third party energy. You might even be in a relationship with somebody else and you stepped out. And when you stepped out, you know, I feel like something happened. You was in it with somebody and they either didn't like your work or you didn't do work for them, or it's something that you have to forgive them for, I feel like. you have to forgive them for work that wasn't done. And I feel like you might get bad news about this relationship if you haven't already. I feel like maybe somebody is about to walk away from you. A third party is about to walk away from you, or you're getting ready to walk away from a third party. But something is going to come to light if it hasn't, or something is already coming to light. And I'm going to go ahead and do like one more row clarifying all of them, which is just 5. This 2 of Cups energy. You're in between letting it go and staying. It's really, really settling on your mind whether you want to stay or whether you want to go. And with this 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it's an injustice. I'm telling you, leave this person alone. Whoever this person is, it is an injustice to you. It's an injustice to your business. And you don't want this person. What is the Strength card in reverse? The Temperance in reverse. So I feel like maybe you're possibly overindulging, and you're probably getting into some stuff that you don't, because the situation is probably driving you crazy. What is this Moon? See, success. It's like when you come out, whenever you come out and let it all just be out in the air, it will yeah, I feel like it's draining you with the Chariot in reverse. So, and at the bottom is the Fool in reverse. So I feel like, to be completely honest, whoever it is that you're dealing with, you know, is not good for you. They're not good for you. They're not good for business. And so you need to make the conscious effort to kind of detach like you know to do. So that's confirmation right there. Whoever, and this was like an odd, weird reading for me, but it was very quick, and I felt like that message needed to be to someone. Someone needed that message. So, confirmation. I am going to label this video, or this, I'm going to label this, hold on, let me shuffle real quick. I'm going to label this podcast Trump. I'm going to label this podcast Trump. If y'all don't like it, too fucking bad. Like, I don't care. I'm sick of everybody having their own opinions, but when I want to have mine, you got a problem. Too goddamn bad. I am labeling this Trump. This podcast is going to be Trump. And guess what? As an Aquarius, I know opposition. I'm an air sign. He's a Gemini. He's an air sign. So I can understand certain things that he does after proper and accurate research. Okay? And the information, a lot of this stuff is made public. People be trying to fight you over information that's made public. It's made public for a reason. We got laws for that. And if we didn't have laws for it, a lot of y'all would be mad as hell that y'all literally do have to show proof of your tax return. And let me tell you something, legally, you do not have to. Legally, you don't have to in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And so who the fuck is the IRS? Matter of fact, you know what? I don't like the IRS. Matter of fact, I want to sue the IRS because I feel like you taking too much of my money. You're a privately owned business. And here we go. Matter of fact, when you think about it, the IRS is a privately owned business, and they're not even attached to the government. They work, it's a part or branch that works for the government. They're contracted with the government. So it's just like a temp service for a job. You go to the temp service, which is the third party, and they get you the job at that hospital or at this organization or whatever. Okay. So it's like you don't literally work for, let's use the hospital, and I can even use me. I worked with a company that I'm not going to name. Okay. And I used to work for the VA, the Veterans Hospital here in Dallas. I used to work for them. And so I was contracted through an agency. I was getting paid by my agency to work for the hospital. So at the end of the day, the hospital, I don't actually work for them. I don't
I don't work for them. I just work with them. And so at the end of the day, it's not no different. Okay, that is, the IRS is not no different. They working with the fucking government to pretty much just take our fucking money and call it interest. And a lot of y'all out here be talking about some, oh, Trump don't want to show his records. Y'all show y'all records. Because if I was him, I don't want people in my financial business to fuck neither. Period. I don't want people in my financial business. One rule of thumb is don't ever tell people what you got in your pockets. That's one of the life rules. Don't you ever tell people what you got in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all out here be trying to use the same shit that y'all sit in combat, mad that, oh, we got to go and show our records. We got to go and show that we live here to get food stamps. We got to show this. We got to show that. So what is y'all mad at Donald Trump for? Because he don't want to show a publicly owned business, not a non-government business, not a government business, but somebody who works with a public. And like I said, the publicly owned business has to disclose information. The IRS is a privately owned business. So we don't have to know. That's why nobody knows where the fuck the government, where the IRS came from. What branch of the government do they work for, work with? None of y'all know that. Y'all just know that the IRS take y'all motherfucking money. That's all y'all know, is that the IRS take y'all fucking money. And if I was Trump, shit, I wouldn't want to show my shit neither, especially if it's the law. So now you told me I have rights, and now you telling me I can't utilize my rights? Oh, I'm only supposed to be in opposition when it's of benefit to you? No, I'm in opposition when it's in benefit for me. Period. If I don't trust you, if I don't know everything I feel like I need to know about making a decision on you, I don't give a fuck. I'm not finna make no decision on you. Period. The objective is to gain. The objective is to win. And a lot of y'all don't got the heart to do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't got the heart. And this don't even got to be about fighting no motherfucking body. It don't even got to be about laying hands. Because some of us are can whoop your ass intellectually. And I'll be one of the first people to say it be me. I'm one of them people. I'm an Aquarius first. Aquarius is known for being the smartest of the zodiac. And that's statistics. Look online. I didn't make that up. Somebody else said it. And I believe it because it's true. On top of that, I'm moon sign Virgo. Virgo is the second smartest of the zodiac. Okay, second smartest. So I'm smart twice. And then on top of that, I'm Taurus rising. So I'm bull when it comes to, moving when somebody else tell me. I'm rebellious by nature from the Aquarius side. And with a bull, I move when I want. I move when I want. I do what I want when I want. And you can't constrain me to shit. And you're not going to. So at the end of the day, we need people like that. And we need good intended people. And good intended people don't mean that you can't whoop nobody's ass. You gotta be, holier than thou. No, it just means that you live righteous. So if you see somebody abusing a child, righteous will tell you to go whoop their ass. If they beating the shit out of a child, somebody finna get their ass whooped. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. And God forbid if you walking somewhere and somebody just walk up to you and snatch your child by the arm and start beating the shit out of them. I wish you would stand there. I'll whoop their ass and then yours. And the only reason I'm whooping their ass first is because they done handled the child. So my thing is, I'll be damned. Some of y'all need to stop playing with yourselves out here. Y'all be out here fighting everybody that's unnecessary. But y'all won't fight the people that need it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here got all of this mouth, but can't open y'all mouth to save no kids. And kids can't defend themselves. So I'm gonna leave it there. Because I'm starting to get a little irritated with people. Because I know how people are. Do your research and you'll find out why I feel the way I do.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a motherfucker. I really don't. I don't care. Sometimes in life, you got to let go of people if they don't believe the way you want, if they not on your same life path, if they don't have the goals and aspirations and deep and take some deep introspection on that. Okay, for real, take some deep introspection on that. Okay, and on that note, make sure I'm not gonna sit here and tell nobody to go vote, but I will tell you to invest. How about that? Y'all sitting here running to the polls to some fucking vote. Why don't y'all run to invest? Help yourself, literally help yourself. Okay, make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know. Okay, make sure y'all follow me on my other social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, okay, Snapchat, DesiDC, Instagram, also Flicking on My Bic, okay, Facebook, YouTube, Desiree AC, okay. I got a podcast, Flicking on My Bic Podcast. Hear me talk, whether you like it or not, okay. And so I also do readings, $7. Hit my DM, and this information is the information will be somewhere where you can find me. Okay. So I sincerely hope a lot of y'all invest, a lot of y'all learn. I'm confirming, do it or don't do it. Whichever one you was leaning towards, whoever this is for, do it. And whoever this is for, don't do it. Only you know. So, yes, y'all, I'll holler at y'all.